First of all, welcome everybody. This is Greg from the Hashtag Show. I'm here with Devin Bunje and Nick Stanton, and we are here to talk about Hailey's On It. This is a new series coming to Disney Channel and Disney Plus in June, and I'm very excited to hear from these creators and producers from this show and series. So first off, I need to ask you guys, what can you tell me about this series without obviously spoiling everything for everybody? And how did you come up with the plan for this?
Good question. So the original idea came from just a scene, I think, that we just thought was kind of funny, and a version of that scene ended up in the first episode. It's just the idea of this crazed professor coming from the future and basically doing this information dump on this like regular 14-year-old girl. And the joke of that scene was that she never gets the information out, that she needs out. They keep going on these tangents. We just thought it was a funny scene, and we kind of took that and then built a world around it, right? Like, who's this girl? It's Hailey Banks, this normal 14-year-old girl, and she's got this neighbor, Scott Denoga, who is her best friend, but they might become more than friends. And I don't know, that was sort of the germ of the idea. As for the first part of your question about like where the show is going to go, yeah, we won't give any spoilers, but one thing I really think about is cool about the show is that it really does evolve. There's a serialized story arc, and even the relationship of Hailey and Scott like changes in pretty big ways throughout the first season. There's some big sort of tentpole episodes where the entire dynamic of the relationship ends up changing. So we're excited for that.
All right, awesome. So we meet Hailey, and I got a chance to actually see a couple of the episodes, and I have to kind of laugh a little bit with the creation of her, because she's like this kid that just can't seem to get anything done right off the bat, or scared to do stuff. And she has this list that she wants to complete, this year. Is this based off of somebody you guys know, or is this somebody you kind of randomly just kind of created? Or I always like to know the details on the main characters.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that Hailey's based on any one person or anything like that, but she's a little bit of all of us, right? I mean, there's always that part of you that's just not sure it's the right time or it's safe, or you sort of second guess yourself. And we sort of just like the idea of sort of having a character that starts there, but thematically knowing that they can do great things. It sort of has that message of anyone is capable of doing great things, or if you want to make a change in the world, you can do it. So we sort of liked having a character that started there, and it also helps just sort of on the comedy storytelling side of, we've always been big fans of shows and movies where it's totally ordinary characters that get thrown into these extraordinary circumstances. So she finds out she obviously is destined to do great things and has to accomplish all these things on her list that she was always too scared to do. But she's literally the last person you would think at the start of the show that would be both capable and willing to do all those things. So we just thought that would be a really fun dynamic to kind of go up against. Along with the fact that a lot of the stuff on the list can be super low stakes on its surface, right? I mean, we have stuff like spend all your old gift cards as a list item, which kind of just seems like fun, low stakes energy, but there's this super heavy importance on all of those things getting accomplished because of what she knows about the future.
And I hope I never have to do that, because I definitely have a lot of gift cards sitting around. So.
We all do.
So you guys were both known pretty much for your live action stuff. So this is kind of your first adventure together with doing the an animated series with writing and producing and stuff. What were some of the challenges that you guys had during this, and what was that feeling once everything was done?
Yeah, well, we've always loved animation. We actually got our start at animation, and then went over to live action and did shows like Zeke and Luther and Gamer's Guide and Prince of Peoria. And so it was really sort of like a homecoming coming back to animation, and it had a lot of like advantages. Obviously, in animation you could just go these crazy places and do things with your characters that you just can't do in live action. The one drawback I would say is that our last show was a live action multi-camera sitcom in front of a live audience. And so you would get like immediate feedback, whether a joke is working or if it's not working, it would, you could, hear that and, make an adjustment on the fly. And that was one of the big challenges in animation. You get the footage animated overseas and you come back and it's months later before you can find out if something's really working or not.
Yeah.
So, that was a little bit tough for us. But we love both. We've loved our experiences in live action and love animation as well.
So it also looks like you got an amazing cast as well. Can you tell me a little bit about putting that team together and how it felt when you had them all in the studio working together and going from there?
Yeah, I mean, we wrote the pilot just prior to even thinking about who we were going to cast, and sort of the first round of auditions that the awesome people in our Disney TVA casting department gave us. Nick and I immediately both gravitated to the same two people. It was Ali for Hailey and Manny for Scott, and they both just bring a sincerity and a sweetness to just naturally that you really can't teach. And then Ali is just an incredible actress and obviously can sing, which was a nice little add-on that wasn't always baked into the Hailey character, but we quickly evolved into that. And then Manny is just he's so likable and he's so funny and he's just so unique. Like he just has his own rhythms for everything, and his comedy is sort of second to none. So they were awesome. And then Gary Anthony Williams. We when we recorded the pilot, the pandemic had just started, so we sort of had to find some people to kind of scratch in voices that had their own equipment at home. We were able to get some actually incredible people for all that, but Gary was the person that we got for Beta, and now in our minds we can't imagine anyone else being Beta. He's just so perfect for it, and just brings a level of comedy that we never could have even hoped for.
Nice. And the last question for you guys tonight, obviously, you got this series getting ready to roll out in June. Can we expect more animated series from you guys in the future?
We're focusing on this one for now. We hope this one goes for 5 seasons. So no, I mean, really, this has been such a great show that really evolves. So it's almost like, and we're not going to spoil anything, but the relationship dynamics in the show really change from season to season. So it's almost like we haven't gotten bored, and I don't think we will get bored because it's evolving so much. So it's almost like writing on a whole new series sometimes.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time tonight. Really enjoyed talking to you guys. I know fans are going to love this series, especially the kids. A lot of them be able to relate to Hailey. And it's definitely going to be a fun series for you guys on Disney and Disney Plus. So congratulations again, and thank you. And again, I'm Greg from the #show, and Nick and Devin, thank you very much, and can't wait for the rest of the season.
Awesome. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.